Wagwan fam, I'm King Ross, you're my loyal subjects, and it's that bastard time of the week once again where I take a look at all of the WTF moments from WWE RAW, and we're gonna kick things off with something slightly different this week. I want you all to pull your maddest cowie faces. Right then, second of all, let's do something slightly different again. Richard, please turn on the house lights. Turn the house lights on, please. We're going to see what I see when I walk in a straight line. Oh, we're peeling back the curtain here a bit, aren't we? I'm walking in a straight line. I see everything that's in front of us. Say hello, Richard.
Hello.
Everything that's in front of us still. I see everything that's in front of us. So what the was going on Raw? First of all, WTF is Bayley doing in a dingy corner on a lonesome. She's the bastard Raw Women's Champion, FFS. She should be in a locker room with a sofa and grapes and fans and all sorts. And then second of all, how the flip did her and Mick not see Triple H, who was directly in Mick's eyeline before he hugged Bayley, and then once again after he hugged Bayley? Magic camera pan my arse, he is fully in view of Mick and Bayley. Why was Mick so surprised to see him after he'd done having a little hug with Bayley? Wrestling makes no sense, Eric. There's no doctor in America who would clear Seth Rollins to do the grabs at WrestleMania. Kevin Wilk, quite frankly. And I know what, culture bosses, I'm swearing a bit too much at the start of this WTF Moments episode, but I don't care. Kevin Wilk can take his shitty opinions and shove them straight up his Cadbury alley. Of course there's one doctor in America that will clear him. All we need to do is head over to Springfield, Oregon. Yes, Springfield is in Oregon. I have watched some videos, and we'll go and meet this sexual wank pheasant here.
Hi, everybody.
I tell you what, Nick, while you're clearing Sethy Poo for WrestleMania, why don't you go and see Daniel Bryan and clear him as well? Their health and well-being. They're not even real people. They are superstars who will be immortal forever and ever. The biggest WTF moment in the history of WTF moments is massive uber WWE fan Bayley saying that she admired Stephanie McMahon before she got to the company because she saw her as a strong woman. Since arriving on the main roster, however, Bayley sees Stephanie as somebody who just uses her powers to hurt other people. As if Stephanie hasn't been doing that for the past 17 bastard years repeatedly. I know she had a bed and took some time off, but she's been doing it a hell of a long time, hasn't she? Who the flip has Bayley been watching all of these years? Stephanie has been a bitch for as long as I can remember. Yes, she got tied to the Taker's thing, and then Taker was like, "Where to, Stephanie?" Which apparently turned her into a massive bitch. Her Twitter profile even calls herself a TV villain. WTF that means, with the W meaning whatever that fiends. I mean, we do have that time in 2003 when Steph had the legs, you know, that shot with the legs, and then she got spanked by John Cena, and then she turned into a bitch again. It seems that Stephanie's massive lady balls, you all think they're boobs, but they're not. They're metaphorical balls with lady in front of them, and I love them. Balls. Balls are great. It seems those balls not only have the power to emasculate bare men every single bastard week on WWE television, it also seems those lady balls have the power to warp the minds of innocent little girls watching WWE television. Who the puts chewing gum out in the studio?
Not me.
Right in his bump here with those massive teeth. We kicked off WWE RAW this week by seeing Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn again, and then again, we saw Bayley taking on Nia Jax for what was the 5th time. That is 5 times in singles matches since both were promoted to the main roster last year. That's a lot in a hell of a short space of time, isn't it? I suppose, since you all love it so much, it gives me opportunity to flash up the new era Simo saw him once again. So Steph angled this rematch between Bayley and Nia as some sort of punishment for Bayley because Nia's pure f***ing huge and a massive strong woman. However, when she expected Bayley to be like, no, don't make me face Nia, I'm going to die, Bayley responded with something along the lines of, no, David, make us face Nia again because I'll die of boredom because it's happened 5 times since we both got promoted to the main roster. You bloody knockout job. Charlotte takes weird wrestler pose to all new levels, as we know, to be a WWE superstar. Let's pretend the camera's over here. You have to like watching television like this. Charlotte took it to new levels though. Let's pretend the TV's still over there. She was watching it like this for some bloody reason. Why doesn't she just sit on a couch with a beer like a normal f***ing person? Let's be honest, lads, it feels like there's been an interference in every single Raw Women's Division match since the brand split happened many moons ago. However, when they finally book a no DQ match, every bloody woman stays in the back. There's no interferences whatsoever. It's a clean singles one-on-one. However, there's no DQ stipulations. So surely it would have made more sense for Sasha to interfere on Bayley's part and prevent Nia from making Sasha's match at WrestleMania harder by having her lose to Bayley and not having to qualify for the... Aye! I've lost myself. If Sasha interfered, Bayley would have won. If Bayley would have won, Sasha's match at WrestleMania would have been easy because Nia wouldn't have been added to it because she would have lost to Bayley. Logic! Kevin Owens likes Y2J draws and random chesty blondes. Kevin Owens likes Y2J draws and random chesty blondes. Kevin Owens likes Y2J draws and random chesty blondes. Here we see Kevin teen before he was all growing up. Ha ha ha! Next, we have Chris Jericho, who claimed he was Kevin Owens' idol and hero. I'm here to say, in the tone of a sassy ghetto lady. Owen Hart was. How do we know this? Because Kevin Owens named his firstborn son Owen. He didn't name him Chris. How do we know this? It's because Kevin Owens' kayfabe name is not Kevin Chris's, with 2 motherfucking S's. If Chris Jericho was in fact his hero and his idol, Kevin Owens would be called Kevin Chris's. Because Owen has had an S added to it to make Owens. Simon. Next, we move on to Corey Graves, who claimed that if anybody were to spend enough time around the Brian Kendrick, they would become Rhodes Scholars. Now, I know my close personal friend Cody Rhodes is killing it on the independent scene at the moment, but how, in terms of how these 2 men here are viewed within the WWE universe, is becoming a Rhodes Scholar anything to aspire to, Corey Graves? Surely a better thing to say is that Mr. Brian Kendrick taught Eve Marie everything she knows in the WWE ring, so if he can teach her things, he can teach you anything just the same. Ha 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 ha! This gives me an excuse to bring out my mahoosive hashtag ahead of WrestleMania 33. Richard Tubman, if you could flash it up along the screen like this as I go. Hashtag Eve Marie must win the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Championship at WrestleMania 33. Sticking with Brian Kendrick, and this time he admitted that he has Tozawa's passport live and in front of not only the entire WWE universe, but the entire world, which includes policemen and lawyers and such. Now, of course, as we all know, stealing an identity like this, which is what stealing a passport is, don't you bloody know it, it is considered a federal offence, and Brian Kendrick is looking at serious judgments being laid upon his ass if he was to be taken to court. As we all know, though, in recent weeks on WWE SmackDown Live, we've seen Randy Orton commit arson and desecration of a grave with the reward of a WWE championship shot at WrestleMania as his reward. Then we saw Baron Corbin attempt murder upon Dean Ambrose's sorry ass with, I know it hasn't been confirmed yet, but with an Intercontinental Championship shot at WrestleMania, the reward for doing so. Now, compared to attempted murder and arson and desecration of a grave, nicking somebody's passport isn't really that serious, is it? So I suppose we can expect to see the Brian Kendrick not only challenging for the Universal Championship, but the Raw Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championship, and the United States Championship, and the Cruiserweight one as well. because bad things get rewarded there. Chad 2 Bad and Tex Ferguson had the opportunity to make their tag team title defense at WrestleMania 33 a hell of a lot easier. However, it is littered with WTF Moments. First of all, Tex and Chad were paired with two baby faces, supposed baby faces, because I think Enzo Amore is the most deplorable human being since Mojo Rawley, which doesn't make sense, does it? Heels and baby faces shouldn't be teaming together like that. Second of all, with the promise of making their tag team championship match a hell of a lot easier at WrestleMania 33 by eliminating Sheamus and Cesaro, Tex and Chad decide to turn on their babyface partners, have their asses handed to them, and then keep Cesaro and Sheamus in the tag team championship match. That made no sense. And then, which was a continuation of many WTF moments through the night, another champion was beaten with aplomb. But none with quite a plomb as Chad and Tex, who was jobbed out 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, where they are defending their tag team championships. Way to look strong, bros. Maggle Cole made a point of mentioning that the ring crew had strengthened the ring ahead of the Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns match. Braun Strowman, £385. Roman Reigns, £265. That weight added together, I haven't got a calculator, so I cannot do it. Is it £650? Whatever the bloody total is, one thing that we can be sure of is that weight of Roman and Braun comes nowhere near to the cumulative total of the weight of Enzo, Cass, Luke. Who? Luke? Tex and Chad, Cesaro and Sheamus. Those 6 men weigh a hell of a lot more than those 2 men, yet the 2 men had to have the ring strengthened and the 6 men didn't. Beer. Why was The Undertaker visibly disappointed after the chokeslam he delivered to Braun Strowman? He accomplished his mission. He wanted to get rid of Braun so he could stand one-on-one with the one, Roman Reigns. Now, as we all know, Taker knew as well as we did that he was going to get a spear and whatever to knock him out and make Roman look strong before WrestleMania 33. However, I think we can look deeper into Taker's disappointment because after taking one hell of a bump for that chokeslam, where all 385 pounds were hoisted above Taker's head, I reckon Taker realised that he done f***ed up last year. He done f***ed up bad, motherfuckers. Done f***ed up fucking hell. As we all know, last year Taker took part in that utter clusterfuck that was the storyline with Shane and Vince and the lockbox. What's inside the lockbox? And Shane was going to be in control of Raw. Then he had to win, and he didn't win, but he was given Raw anyway. And then the Hell of a Cell match was shit anyway. He gave up a match with Braun Strowman, reportedly at WrestleMania 32, to take part in that shit house. And I reckon it just hit him there that it was the wrong call to make, because Braun could actually take him to a pretty good match, considering they have 2 big sweaty men. Boo-hoo, Taker, boo-hoo. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Sign. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Sign. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Sign. Plus that one there that makes no f***ing sense. Bye, everybody.